Hey guys, we're back with the Great Ace Attorney, the series with continuing audio issues. Hopefully it's fixed. I just realized the popping sound. I thought it was maybe only for like some of the later parts of episode case 2, but it turns out it's been there since like the second video I made, which I mean, at least I noticed it, right guys? Hopefully it's gone now. By the way, I looked through the last video, I didn't hear it at all. It was a little trickier to find than like a genuine audio issue, right? Because it only pops up in certain cases. Anyway, we're in court, case 3. Unless it's a 2-day case, you're not getting an investigation here. Meaning we still haven't had like a full case, if that's the case. If that's the case, no, shut up. What's with the 2D fire? That's super obvious. You know, maybe back in the 3DS it was, you know, it looked better. But like, we haven't had a case where I had to investigate and go to trial yet, which is a little weird. Anyway, the Old Bailey courtroom. Oh yeah, there's the jury. 6 people. This is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. Centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? So different to the Supreme Court in Japan. Feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Who's the prosecutor again? Baron von Zeeks? Wait, no, it was Barrick. No, he's not a baron. He's a lord. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, what? Oh, he's... Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. It's gonna happen until 2-5. I know, but I just can't help it. But at the end of 2-5, the ghost of Kazuma, who's not dead, he's just a ghost, passes on and he finally gets confident. Oh, the judge! What's he? Oh, geez, he's Dracula. He's old. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, hereby declare this court to be in session. I need to go practice a British accent after this because like everyone is British. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. I want to give this guy like a stereotypical vampire voice. The prosecution is fully prepared. Ha ha ha. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. I have to say ah ha ah after every line he says. It's canon. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. You speak English? Wow. Jeez, dude. They'll get you canceled nowadays. Huh? Yes, of course. Sorry. But he asked if defense was ready. Couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Those eyes please me. The honeys. Do you pronounce the P's? Because that's always something that confused me, because in Japanese it's, I believe, Nihon, but we spell it with P's for some reason. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. A cold shiver just ran down my spine, all the way to the tips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You can be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? Wow, dude. It's like all this racism, it's like Victorian England in here or something. As I've always said, my lord, it's a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fella is a student from some little island off in the Far East. Oh, come on, I'm helping you. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? Like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded. Oh, they like him? What a fine gentleman London has. Hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Please may we go play in McGilded Park? Seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. Okay, I thought like everyone would hate him. It's definitely welcome news. Then there's a way with words. Oh, OBS, you're working good? Yeah, okay. Surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded. And most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? I wonder if any of these characters are going to show back up again. Or if it's I mean, it's got to be a different jury every time, right? But yes, my lord. Task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong. I'm more than ready. So that's just stereotypical gentleman. Jade lady. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. This is a character from Bacchanal. Ha! Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. Yeah, okay. Well, is her thing gonna be she doesn't talk, she just writes? Types? I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Let's finish these mitts for my grandson. Mr. Naruhodo, those people are? The jury, yes. Something we don't have in Japan yet. You know, I found out just a couple of days ago, this was directed by the guy who made the first 4 Ace Attorney games. Because Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice had a different director, right? So, I'm gonna briefly talk about Apollo Justice's ending, right? At the end of Apollo Justice, they kind of set up for like a jury system to be introduced to, you know, Japan or California or wherever it takes place, right? But then obviously in Dual Destinies, that's not there. I guess the director, he wanted to do that, so, you know, for his next game, he did that. That's right. Only I ever read about it. Here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law. The jurors determine guilt based on common sense. That's gotta... There's definitely going to be a case where that is very, very relevant, right? The defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That I don't know, but I'm sure it'll become clear as the trial progresses. Yes. Prosecutor Van Zeeks. My lord, it's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. Oh, okay. Thought you renounced your fame. No, he just got shot in the shoulder. He's been, you know, healing it. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. He's a vampire. He's literally... Like, this is just... Didn't I say last time it was just gonna be Edgeworth? Look, he's even got his bib. This is Edgeworth's great British ancestor, who also went to Romania for a little while. But what brings you back? There's a siren outside if that picks up. Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware? I'm not being arrested. That's not coming from the game either, okay? Just figured I should acknowledge it. I leave that to your imagination, my lord. The Reaper's been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. You're the only ones in here who aren't aware. Do we have any evidence yet, by the way? Nope. Okay. Are they gonna make me give an opening statement? I'm not prepared for this. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. Victim was a maker of building bricks, known in the community as thrice-fired Mason. Was his name Mason? Are you seriously saying his name was Mason? Like, thrice? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired are said to be almost indestructible. Victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. A dagger had been thrust into the victim's abdomen and is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. What's the difference from like an omnibus and like a carriage? Like we saw it in the opening cutscene, like... Anyway. Oh, what? How many times are you going to update this? Here's the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. You'll accept that and the photograph as evidence. Autopsy report has been added. Okay, let's I want to read the autopsy. 15th of February, 10 to 11 p.m. Okay. Stabbed once in the abdomen with a knife while journeying in an omnibus. Died due to an internal hemorrhaging resulting from the trauma. Okay. 54. Got the picture? Oh, is the face being partially obscured going to be relevant? He's like, I wouldn't call that partially obscured. Maybe there's something under the head, like on his forehead or something. One further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are... Good lord, oh, it's a wig. It's a blood, counsel. Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Jimmy Gilded's gloves had blood on them? I mean, if he was in the same place the guy was stabbed, not that weird. Like, that's not a lot of blood either. That's like, hold on, are they in the... Not yet. Yes, I'll accept these as evidence as well. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, that's like a mild amount of blood. How did I get into this? Backed into a corner before I've even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of the passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. Hold on. I'm just gonna... Is an omnibus like... Is that like anyone can get on, or is it like... Dated a bus? Horse-drawn omnibus, yes. Wanna... Okay, so it's a public vehicle, so like... They weren't like meeting each other. They just happened to both be aboard. The other... was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Well, rather damning circumstances, to say the least. Defendant, what say you? Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. But yeah, just plead the fifth. That usually works. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, you're on the omnibus that evening. Whenever I'm in a carriage, taken with a fierce tiredness, I always succumb to it. Are you claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilton, so it is. Lilton? When I opened my eyes, it was a desperate sight before me. Body of a man I never laid eyes on before in my life. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? Wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? Reached out to give the man a hand. The blood got onto the gloves then, after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning. What? Done all of it? There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. That's not good. Types furiously. Order! 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 When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. and there were witnesses to the crime. This is not a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we'll hear testimony from the witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. How many witnesses are we talking about here? Watch there be 6 of them. 3? Okay, thought it might be 4. Witnesses, your names and occupation. My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End. Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. My name is First. Lady First. I am a cat's for gents. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witnessed the aforementioned incident. Okay, so they were in. Okay. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Quite right. Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Very well then. Let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. What? Oh, cursive. Well, that wasn't quite cursive. That was old font. And it was the last bus of the evening, so had a few customers. I remember it well. Victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Oh, so remember that one mechanic we were introduced in the first case where like Hosonaga reacted to something what's her name said? We're probably gonna have to do that a lot, aren't we? And out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it. Soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too. Unambiguous testimony, they. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may? Yes, counsel? Well, this testimony, it wasn't in green text. Is it usually in green text the first time around? Makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those 2 witnesses possibly have seen what happened? No way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. Were they? I thought they said they were inside of it. Wait. But I also thought earlier they said it was only the 2 of them inside, so now I am confused. Maybe he didn't say that. How quaint. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Yes, please explain. Huh? Tell me, my Nihonese friend, have you ever traveled in an omnibus? Well, no, neither have I, believe it or not. We, only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is. What do you mean? The actual scene? How? Carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes? The omnibus in which the bloody crime took place is here today. This very building. So did they just see in through the window? Here? What? The entire carriage? The horse too. That's why I'm here. You get it? Horsey? Haha. Bailiff! Bring forth the stricken omnibus. And the... Okay, so 3 windows. That's an omnibus. The omnibus. Am I saying omnibus yet, by the way? Wait, hold on. Do I still have it up on Google?
Omnibus.
Yeah, okay. That's one of those words that kind of looks like it'll have like some really weird spelling. Like you don't say omnipotent, you say omnipotent, right? Can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are made, they do have big doors. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses, carry up to 8 passengers. Oh, on top. Oh, it's 4 passengers seated inside in the enclosed cabin, and they form the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights we head from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there's a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. Skylight. Oh, okay, so they saw from above. The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on the omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Makes perfect sense. Well, counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. Just you wait until there's a murder in here. Or bombing. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I'd like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. Oh geez, okay. That is the prosecution's wish. Very well. See no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. Okay. 8 seater omnibuses at the scene of the crime. Passengers both on the carriage and on the roof deck that night. Gotcha. Can't believe it. The entire crime scene entered as evidence. Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. Helped myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Oh, okay. Hey, the game's telling me to do it. Let's do it. Can we open it up? Yeah. While Zeke's and the judge are talking, we just go in. No, shoot. I right-clicked. Yeah. Can I not look around? I guess not. Blood that's soaked into the seat. Victims, obviously. And the seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Really stab someone in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder. It was after dark. There's a lamp on in here. Perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside of the skylight. Every way you look at it, it seemed like it was a planned attack. Okay. Window? Oh, okay, I can't. Okay. What is this? Is that like the lamp? It's a poster for the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. That has to be like 1.5, or maybe even in the second game, but I assume 1.5. A lot of focus being drawn to the crystal tower centerpiece. Under construction already, I believe. Raising with excitement. Okay. It's called foreshadowing. 3DS controls. Is that the same poster? No, it's a different poster. That's, you know, the famous London Eiffel Tower. Okay, no, it's the same text. Gotta love the 3DS controls. It's quite a large skylight, isn't it? Quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck. Doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. Can't be opened from inside the cabin. Okay, that's probably relevant. Can we go up top now? I don't see anything more in here. Oh. It has a handle. Stuff. Oh no, there might be a snake in here. Or a cat. We never saw... Wait. Oh, maybe I'm just forgetting. Did we ever find out where the cat went in case 2? Am I? Hold on. Because remember, the case was open. Am I just forgetting? Hey, everyone, we're back with the great ballet. She has such where's the cat at? What are you about to do? Inspector, just stop. Kazuma has to be alive. He has the cat. The cat is with Kazuma. I'm feeding tubes, tool to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. Storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems. Doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to store their luggage, for sure. I don't imagine it'd be very convenient for that purpose anyway. Okay. Good. All the same thing. It's not like a blood stain. Is there not one here? Kind of weird. Make sure I'm not missing anything else. You think there'd be at least like one piece of evidence inside, right? But I guess this is just here so we can visualize it. Okay, so they could open it from the outside. See inside the carriage through the opening, that's for sure. There's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. Not good for us. The angle at which they see though is probably going to be... Those things kind of look like cameras. Oh, to do that. Is there really? I figured we'd get a piece of evidence here, but... Wait, Phoenix, right? What the heck? I guess not. Okay. Satisfied for now. Let us continue with the proceedings then. If you've had enough fun playing around in the omnibus, your cross-examination counsel. Pray don't expect this Nihon stray to understand the intricacies of the British court cross-examination rights. I know the left's too, actually. Alright, first cross-examination in the British court. Focus, Yunosuke. Focus! Cross-examination. What the witnesses saw. It was the last bus of the evening. Got a few customers. Remember it well. Okay, right. They're set next to each other? Hold it! Were they going on a date? You saw them through the skylight on the roof of the carriage? Oh! Okay, we're already on top of this. Sit up there on the top deck. The windows are right there at your feet. So here's in this seat. There's a lamp on the inside, so I had a pretty good view. Two of them were wearing hats. Couldn't exactly make out their faces. So if there was anyone in the other seat, he wouldn't be able to tell. There's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilded. And really, he could have been someone else. How can you be so sure? Well, if I put it politely, Mr. McGild is a gentleman of rather small. Are we going? It's another woman. This is Ace Attorney's misogynist arc. Couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. No room for doubt here. I really wish there was. Out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. Hold it! You actually saw the exact moment it happened. Didn't I already testify to that? Or are fair dinkum hard-working city bankers not considered trustworthy these days? Oh, no, I didn't mean that. We love the banks, right guys? It's no good. I've already got his back up. Oh, my lord. Juror number 3? What's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other that shouldn't be. Every one of them. What the heck? That little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Hell, you can't fool me. What the heck? Is that allowed? No point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway. Hold it. Precisely what I was about to say. I hate the rich, yeah. The foreman of the jury. My duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. You gotta listen to what I have to say. What's happening here? Let me see. Ah, yes, it seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts, with the magical fire system. Fire? Apparently, yes. White for innocent, black for guilty. The 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case. One by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen. Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Very well. Court acknowledges the change in the jury stance. Are hung juries a thing here, or do you just need a majority? Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Nightmare. When he stabbed him, I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it.
Hold it!
Stabbed him, you say? Sitting up on the roof deck, were you? That's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. Been thinking about a new hat design. See, so I was gazing absentmindedly around. I assume there might be like a pop-up, like in these icons, if something happens. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. Maybe not though. It was sticking right out from his belly. A huge, great knife. It wasn't that huge. A grim sight indeed. That didn't help me at all. They look like they're even more convinced that my client did it than they were before. I wonder if just pressing everything might actually be bad, and I don't know. I don't know how scripted this is. But it appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilded is telling the truth. Only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Mr. First. Yes, sir? Is this the knife you saw? Oh, good grief. Yes, that's it. The very one. Is that? Yes, counsel. This is the blade that was driven through the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. I swear he's a vampire. That is a blade of considerable size, counsel. It is. And furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Yes, perhaps it's the 13th letter of the English alphabet? The jury goes ballistic. Oh my god, it is! The typewriter lady's like, oh, I know M, it's on the typewriter. Oh, please, no. M for Magnus, perhaps? Or McGilded, perhaps? Take your pick. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake. Maybe it's M for magnificent.
Objection.
But there are M's everywhere. Like, yes, like in Mason.
Objection.
This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. Wow. But I thought you said he was like the best brickmaker in London. He could be rich. This weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel. Murder weapon. Largest knife that was found lodged in the victim's abdomen. Quality and fancy ornamentation. Just it must be valuable. My lord, don't forgive the interruption. Juror number 2. Go on. Mr. McGill is a pillar of society and a gentleman. Gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However... Oh, come on! Those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Wait, what are you about to do? Dispose of the rubbish. How many is that now? 3? No! I don't wish to cause offense. You'd like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered to you today. I cross-referenced all the facts. I think they have someone to do that. As such, I'm now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. Not again. That's 4 out of 6 jury members who've proposed a guilty verdict. Only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, make the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. Still very much in the dark. So I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly. Mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back. But alright, I'll keep trying. Can't give up. Just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. Okay, so I assume we just press everything. All 6 of them vote guilty, but then we have some stunning truth. Or maybe we do present something. Like, I don't see anything with the evidence we have, like... Unless we have to find something in the omnibus, but I didn't see anything there. Wait, let's do the first one first. Even though I don't think there's anything there. Because if we do the last one, it'll loop back around. That's annoying. I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sir. That's right, sir. Yes. Ever so cold it was, sir. Freezing, in fact. It does look very cold. 4 passengers on board at the time. Is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same parts of the bus, of course, though. No. There were no other passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted, for example. Alighted? Quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that. No, none. Nobody fled the scene of the crime, then. I have to say, the boss insists on it running, he does. Every evening, the last bus of the day. But I wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, they're being so cold and everything. They're making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spend that much in the pub on the way home, just gotta warm up again. That might, well, you might have a drinking problem. Get this last one. He saw it too. He didn't see the stabbing, he saw the stabbed. What exactly did you see? Oh, so that would be the passenger, sir. Collapsed on the floor. Which one? By the passenger, obviously you're referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. Why would he be on the floor? You have a picture of him sitting up. And the other passenger had that knife in his hand, like this. Did he? By the other passenger, obviously you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. And then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly. What? My lord, I wish to speak. But that doesn't make sense. He's saying he saw that after they screamed. After, what's his name? Lady first screamed. Right? Meaning the stabbing already happened. So he just made that up. Or alternatively, something Ace Attorney happened and there's wild hijinks going on. Yes, juror number 5. I take it that you too? The master of the London Guild of Coachmen. The idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But I've heard enough now. Horse is bolted, as they say. No, please just keep an open mind a little. Gee up now, Silver Blaze. The finish is in sight. Okay, hopefully maybe the old lady fell asleep. They'll give us some time. Or she still needs to finish the minutes. Beppo's a long-standing member of the guild. Trust what the man says. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir. This is too unkind, sir. Which now means 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. She's just to finish the minutes. Madam Juror number 6. Hey, no badgering the jurors. Yes, dear. What can I do for you? You've heard the testimonies of the witness at the stand. Oh, yes. Certainly have. You got my hearing, you know? Then, pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning? She hasn't. Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day, sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. She's on a nice bench now. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. The Gilded Park, it's called. The gentleman donated it to the city, you know. What a smile on Londoner's face, he said. Can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him. Take another man's life. Oh, actually, she's serious. Thank you, old lady. He is always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right. Man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely. Mother, can we go to the McGilded Public Library later and borrow some more books? This is fake. This is fiction. As we know, all rich people, Twitter taught me this, all rich people are evil. How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know? What kind of a man Magnus McGilded really is? Oh no. Is that an organ? He's a vampire. I'm telling you, he's a vampire. What kind of man is he? The philanthropist, Magnus McGilded, has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir. And one with the very darkest of souls. Shylock? Aren't those like the red guys from Mario? Shylock. Meaning fictional character? The Jewish usurer and antagonist of Antonio in Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice. I haven't read Shakespeare. It's not true. I've read half of Midsummer's Night Dream. So it's a Shakespeare reference, gotcha. What? Stone the crows! McGilded lends money at extraordinary rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying it. Oh, see? Okay, never mind. Ace Attorney's real. When they default, takes possession of everything they own. It's a vulture that preys on the weak. I've never heard any mention of that before. Objection. This is irrelevant to the case. Your faculties haven't deserted you, sir, madam. So does this thought not cross your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? You're not saying that the victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name save considerable financial liability. It comes no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known, the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts. Good gracious! The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. So you see, this is fake because obviously a rich person would milk that the poor for all they're worth. Twitter taught me this. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him. His life. No, just send him to like the mines or something to work for the rest of his life. That's what the rich would do. Twitter taught me. That's gonna be my new catchphrase for the rest of this case. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded. I don't believe it. If I might add something briefly, Susato? You claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded, but where's the evidence to support your claim? Oh. Good one, good one. Dude, he is actually Dracula. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law. You really have a hallowed chalice? What is it, blessed by the Pope? Aha, there it is. Lord Von Zieg's hallowed chalice. This is a special technique. Can this be considered acceptable? You should hear about this guy who drank 10 cups of coffee in one trial. I find myself in an unexpectedly good humor. I'd heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage. I didn't expect to experience it myself. As judicial assistant to the defense, simply doing my job. What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger. Details all monies loaned by the accused. You'll find the victim's name clearly recorded inside. Oh. Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time. A marvelous toast, Counsel. Gladly accept this new evidence. Heck yeah. Killed 20 guineas. We know what a guinea is, of course. A considerable sum, as you know, one might say. Open this bad boy up. Yeah. Oh no, what if her luck is in here? Let's see what we find. Yeah. Oh no, cursive! Handful of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Plus, they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? And everyone in the country's one. Oh goodness! What is it? See the name here? Bruce Fairplay. Ooh! Does that mean something to me? That sounds strangely familiar, actually. Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment. Oh yes, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here? Hired 20 guineas, did he? Your payment day is fast approaching. Possible this is just a coincidence, of course. Be very useful information. Okay. So he's the only one who claims to have actually seen it, right? Well, no. Lady first saw it. Did they see the act or did they see the knife in there? I forget his testimony. But obviously he very clearly said that, you know, he saw everything happen. And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense. Well, seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Oh no, she's going evil. She's knitting faster. Regrettably, madam, this is the modus operandi of the accused. Such a pretty little part too. What a scoundrel. Still, maybe it's all for the best. Oh, wait a minute. Think about this before. I don't stand for nonsense. Okay, case over. That was it. The last juror's decision. Oh, according to the Encyclopedia of British Law, and all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended. The presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict. It's over then. Oh! There's a footnote though. Footnote? Alright. The defense? What's in the book? Just tell me what's in the book. The book has all the answers. But that's like her superpower, right? Like Maya has, you know, she could summon ghosts. Suzato, she has a book with all the knowledge of the world in it. All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of the country, I'll now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objection. Go on. Miss Suzato, just tell me one thing. Oh, yes? You're in the middle of saying something before. What note in your Encyclopedia of British Law? However, the defense. What did it say next? Oh, yes, of course. One moment. Come on, open it back. Quick. But all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty. Court proceeding. Yeah. Footnote says the defense. has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. Ooh. A summation examination? To be fair, that one guy being in charge of all the coachmen is kind of sus, objection, as the kids say. Summation examination? From which century is that tomb you have there been resurrected? Dude, he talks like a vampire. He is a vampire. This is Alucard from Castlevania. I don't know who Alucard is, but I know the name. Or from the anime, what is it? What's the one with Alucard? I don't know. Judging from the binding, I'd say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text of British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. The relic, long forgotten, certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck. Oh. What even is it, Mrs. Oh, I didn't even notice. He has the sword on his side. So-called summation examination. One moment. I'll read about it. You would demand the right to a procedure before you would even understand what it entails. Typical Nihonese. I just like saying objection. Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. Is that under this procedure, we'd be able to appeal to the members of the jury. Oh, I thought it would be like, juror number 5, get out of here, we hate you. To do what, exactly? Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. It says here that, if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions. Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality, with no practical benefit, really? Or rather fell out of use. Wonder why? Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age. Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that, although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. Extinct like vampires are, or are they? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Summation examination. Our last possible option. Oh yeah, you know, just forget about it. Let's just, you know, we don't need that. Just admit defeat, yeah. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. How far in 53 minutes? Okay, probably have to cut it soon. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
What was that? Not me? But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. Thank you, Judge. The court will proceed with a summation examination. This is madness. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Well, I'm not, don't mention this in the letter I received, you see? So, all members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they've reached their decision. What grounds? You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. You just go out with the flow. Well, my lord, they're putting us on the spot. Most irregular. No mention was made of this before. I don't really hold with all this justifying like. Oh, that was me typing furiously. That's how you voice her. Seems to have thrown the jurors off. Seems none of them have experienced this before. Alright then, summation examination. Defense procedure no practicing lawyers attempted for years, is it? Hell, just maybe. Might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around. So be it then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you. State the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of the most serious crime. Let's do this. I probably don't have time for another full video today and I want to keep going. Judicial findings. The juror's contentions. No one else in the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, fares totaling 20 pence. Stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say, absolutely brazen. Simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far, drawn the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares are our motto. Haven't raised the prices above 4 pence for years. Scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. So we just have to convince one of them to keep this going. And I wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have a wonderfully formed arguments though, do they? See what we can do. Get those 6 people to change their mind. Throw everything I can at them. Very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. The book! What does it say? What knowledge do you have? According to my book, not quite how it works. But I was gonna have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, much the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see? Their pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, you recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. What on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear. Just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Right. Sorry. You have any idea how to make this work then? The book! Before what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the juror's own words to make your arguments. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front. The truth is, they're complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. Let's listen very carefully what each member of the jury says, see if you can identify any contradictory statements. If you can contrast the statements, hit the corresponding jurors against each other. See, contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. No way then. Similar to a regular cross-examination. Yeah, okay. Find contradictions and pit the jurors against one another. Alright, might be able to pull this off. It's not right. I have to pull this off. Hold it. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I ask you to take the stand for this. Getting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Yo! Need to be all cool. Let me pose. Defense's rebuttal. Not much there. Trust the driver. He has excellent memory. Let's. Oh, okay, so we have a pit button. Can't even present evidence. Yeah. Oh, I see.
Objection.
Those 2 statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel, post haste. Oh, dearie me, I only needed a jumper for my other half. Oh, a jumper? What is this all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask ya? Heard from more than one witness. They allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. You see I'm busy here? Oh, King Arthur. How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Want to test me, do you? It's like this. Stack the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man? How do you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it. Oh, what? She's gonna be totally evil here. Yeah. Oh, God, I was expecting her to get followed there. It's like this. Stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. Coachman said so. Now don't move. Take a look at those 2 jurors. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing totally different directions. What? Bless my stitches. What a muddle. What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. Oh. But why? Why the dickens would they lie? Well, I know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience? Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. Can't abide people telling lies. Let's go! The scales. I don't believe it. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn ya, can't listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. Yeah, anyone who wears a black suit you cannot trust. Lately, some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. Use magic? Do you think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, dark jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have a slightly different recollections of events? What of it? Let's say Shylock did stab the victim as he sat next to him on the omnibus. This young dandy saw him do it. Now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and then the Shylock stabbed him again. This old lady saw him do it. Well, let's just say it didn't happen like that, What are you calling a dandy, sir? Hi, I should take this knife to you. What are you calling old? I should take this needle to you. We need to kill each other now. Could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? Out of the question. Oh, okay, honestly, it's possible. But there'd be two stab wounds though, wouldn't there? Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you dark drinks? Come on out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You realize I'm only doing my job. Foreman of the jury, you have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. Say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. Say that's out of the question. Show me some proof. Looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Okay, I'm assuming the court record says something about this. Yeah, single stab wound. Okay, perfect. As you wish. What? Give you the proof. Out of the question, as proven by the autopsy. This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once. Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Did he get it? Alright, I concede defeat. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. You did it. If you manage to change two more jurors' minds, we need a majority, you can force the trial to continue. Two more, actually. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. That's what you must strike next. Two more jurors. Ah, dang it. You can do it. Well, the scales of justice have shifted. They'll weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Not actually sure who it is yet. Trust the driver, he has excellent memory. 4 passengers. Is it about the money? Yeah, okay, right there.
Objection.
Because if it was 4 pence, that means there's a 5th passenger. Two statements clearly contradict each other. Explain yourself, counsel. Oh dear, what have I done? Swearing Silverblaze's maiden name. The first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, There's 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo took 20 pence in fares. Quite right. Those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. Juror number 5 also told us the following. Fare for the omnibus, always 4 pence. That it is. Fair and convenient single price. Just the way London's carriages should be operating. That doesn't add up at all. In fact, this is a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man, why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. Do the multiplication. Hold on, I'm very bad at 4 times 4. I think that's 12. Ah, he's 16 pence. Oh, I got it wrong. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. Figures are different. 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare. Oh, he's so smug with the sword. Look at my boy. 1 person's fare? Yes! In other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious! This can't be right. Coachmen of the guild are good, honest men. One and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword. Figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. Beg your pardon? Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over. He's blackmailing him all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he let nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Alright then, how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end, Oh, book, what do you say, book? Well, according to my book here, simply launch a ball of fire into the innocent side of the set of scales. Now hold your horses there, coachman. We're all in agreement. Why do you have to... Wait till I get my hands on ya, Beppo! Oh, don't hurt poor Beppo. He's just cold. What's the pun with Beppo, by the way? What's his full name? Just Beppo. Is it a pun I don't get? Very irritating. Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Let's go! Thank you, cute maid girl. Love up, Mike. You as well. A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. Certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leading to not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won. Oh, no, we've stalled. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. We got a consensus. Said shut your trap. I've just been checking OBS periodically to make sure everything's good. I know a liar when I see one. The chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop. Take this razor sharp blade. Shave every last hair off his head. What? You okay, dude? You're acting like a JoJo's character right now. Like, this is... Look at him go. Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there's no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate. Trial must continue. What happens if it's a tie? Like, it feels like if it's a draw, you know, it should keep going. Hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. Call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. Okay, that's a stopping point. We had a little cut to black. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm very glad to be back to a court segment. That was good. Yeah, so see you guys next time for some more Ace Attorney. Bye.